Hey everybody, this is Joe Osmick with McWane Ductile, Utah Environmental Department. And we're going to be talking about cultivating continuous improvement or pollution prevention projects at our facility. So why do we have a successful program? Each year we generate one, two, three. Last year we had actually 4 projects, which accounted for nearly a third of all the P2 projects in McWane Inc.'s Pollution Prevention Challenge. It's because of you, all of you. You come up with great ideas and solutions to sometimes complex problems. And it doesn't matter if they're small ideas or large ideas. We account for all of them in our continuous improvement and pollution prevention program. So what are the elements of a waste minimization or a pollution prevention program? Well, it all comes from this document on the left-hand side of your screen here. That was issued by the Environmental Protection Agency probably about 20 years ago. Congress approved it. It was called the Pollution Prevention Act. And what it requires are the bullet items that I put down here. It's right out of the regulations. Elements include top management support. So general manager and plant manager have to support a pollution prevention and continuous improvement program. It also requires solid and adequate characterization of all the waste that we generate. And I've been working here for over 10 years and really have a great waste management program. And its foundation is really characterization, either through generator knowledge or actual analytical data that I have to collect. Third point is that we have to have periodic waste minimization assessments. And we do this through these trainings like the one I'm providing right now. Stop and think about the waste that you generate and how do we manage that? Whether it's wasted time, wasted resources, or possibly reusing wastes in some beneficial way. Fourth item is a cost allocation system. We have to know what our costs are, year to year, department by department. That's what I do. My job is to make sure that we're not spending too much on how we're managing our waste and working both on-site and off-site management provisions. We have to encourage technology transfer. We also, look at within our departments, how do we have the ability to share technology when we look at continuous improvement? We've done this in the past. We did it in last year's P2. We've done it in years prior. We also look at information that we get from other facilities in their pollution prevention challenges as well, and see if we can make it even better. And then we have the program implementation evaluation. So when you come up with an idea, whether it's small or large, how do we make sure that it's successful? We do that through pilot testing to make sure that we understand all the variables, how they work, what the actual benefits are, okay? And I know you already know a lot of this as a team, as a facility, because we've been through this a lot. We've been successful in our pollution prevention and continuous improvement program. So what you may not know is that when I ship out waste, because of the regulations, every time I ship out hazardous waste on a piece of paper, which is called a bill of lading or a manifest, there's a document, a section in that document that talks about generators offering a certain certification. This is right out of the regulations I've highlighted in the slide. I certify that the waste minimization statement identified in the regulations as a large quantity generator, meaning that we have a waste minimization program. We have a pollution prevention program. We're bound to this by law, and it's memorialized every time I sign off on a manifest like this. So perhaps you didn't know that. So what's the take-home message out of all of this, okay? Think about in your departments, what wasted resources or energy, time, money. How do you manage the business within your respective departments? And possibly, how can that be shared with other departments in a cross-functional team? Is there a better way to do your job? Is there a safer way to do your job? So we're not only looking at environmental, we're also looking at ergonomics and safety and the cost of doing your jobs. So continuous improvement, pollution prevention, what does it involve? It involves ownership on your part. So as department supervisors, okay, we meet annually in continuous improvement events. You don't have to wait for a continuous improvement engineer to ask you about what events or what projects you could potentially have. This runs every day of the year, every production year. So if you have ideas as a supervisor, go to continuous improvement, come to environmental, talk to the plant manager or general manager. Let's hear about them, because if you don't speak up, we can't get them into the fold of things. And we're going to talk about some of the benefits of these ideas and the money that you can win. Okay. So the ideas, large or small, are welcome. Sometimes the smallest ideas generate the biggest savings, the biggest implications in terms of safety. All right. But what we need to do is take your idea, we need to assess and evaluate the idea. We have to look at pilot testing. We have to look at return on investment. We want to know how much does it cost to implement the idea, and what is the return on that cost in terms of financial and also labor, in terms of implementation. We also want to know if it's sustainable. Best projects, the ones that are winners in McWane Inc.'s Pollution Prevention Challenge, are the ones that aren't one and done, aren't 1 year and completed, but the ones that are sustainable year to year. So what does this all boil down to? As you know, we have a pollution prevention challenge. Last year, like I said, we submitted 4 entries. Of those 4, 2 were successful and placed second and third. So what are their criteria? I think we've been through this enough. We know what a winner is. We want to have innovation. We want to make sure that at the entry represents newly created solution, device, or process. We don't want to rehash something that we did before. We want to make sure that it's simple as possible, and straightforward and applicable to other locations or maybe even other departments. So don't think just in terms of your department, think about other departments in developing cross-functional teams as collaboration. As far as environmental and safety benefits, we're looking at a solution that reduces or eliminates pollution. Obviously, that's why it's called pollution prevention or waste minimization. We obviously always want to think about personal safety interactions and how do we create a safe work environment at McWane, Ductile, Utah. We want to make sure that the results that we use are factual and verifiable. We always mention this in at least one of the slides. If it's a finalist and it's a great idea, that these are verifiable figures in terms of safety, in terms of return on investment, in terms of cost and how we use it, okay? We want to make sure as much as possible that the entry is sustainable and provides an attractive return on the investment. So what does this mean to you? If you have an idea, we want to get it documented. Talk to your supervisor. Like I said before, talk to management, come to environmental, because there's P2C prize money sitting on the table. So if your idea is selected as a finalist in the annual P2C, the Pollution Prevention Challenge that corporate sponsors each year, first place, and these placements are based on a panel of independent judges that either work for AFS, the American Foundry Society, private consulting firms that work for McWane as a whole. They're an independent third-party panel, so there's no bias here. First place, everyone on the team gets $1,000. Second place, everyone on the team gets $500. Third place, everyone on the team gets $250, and there are 2 runners up that will get $100 per team member. McWane Ductile Utah, because we have top management support, has offered the people, or the person rather, with the best idea will get $200 for their idea. Second best idea, based on management's judging, that person would get $150, and third place would get $100. So now's the time, it's early on in the year, that you gather your ideas and think about what you're doing in your departments and share them with environmental, share them with management so that we can get them documented. And we want to get those documented as soon as possible so we can start the pilot testing, the data collection, and the things that we've talked about in this brief presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me. My number is 801-380-1951. You can either text or call me with your idea. I'd be happy to sit down and talk with you so that we can start cultivating these ideas for the coming year. If you have any questions, just give me a call. Thanks.